significantly improves the productivity of your workforce. So over this last year, in 2009, we had over 100 million people that experienced Citrix online meetings and collaboration. So that's a pretty huge number. So it's a very popular tool. Most of our partners empower their workforce with the exact same thing that I'm using today. And it's a very effective tool to add to your tool bag to be able to host meetings wherever you are. So because of this, Citrix was named as a top 5 software as a service vendor. And you can see the list of other companies there who are also part of that, that fold. And we use some of those as well. So simple is better. The reason why we say that is that, you know, when you make the solution as simple as possible, people are going to use it. Your administrators and your IT staff are going to want to use it and not find it complex. So we support a multitude of devices with the GoToMeeting product, the GoToWebinar product. On the screen you'll see an iPad, which has been a wildly popular device with Citrix. You're able to actually access meetings through GoToMeeting, and you can actually access virtual desktops as well as applications. And of course, the iPhone, which is a wildly popular device as well, we have GoToMeeting for that device. So moving on to topic number 2 is virtual desktops. And the same thing this year, over 100 million people are using Citrix virtual desktops and virtual applications across the world every day. I live and die by it, and I know that hundreds of thousands of our customers live and die by it as well. Just in the last 2 quarters, we sold over 1.5 million Zen desktop licenses. And that's for desktop virtualization. So as I said earlier, it's any device, anytime, anywhere. And that's the same message that Citrix has been saying for years. It will support any device, any application over any network. But where we've really expanded on this technology over the years is the user experience. And by using Citrix and our virtualization technology, it's a high-definition user experience. And the term FlexCast below is it's a marketing term, and when it first came out, I didn't necessarily grasp the whole warmth of the word FlexCast. But the more I talk about it, the more I really like it, and it's a great description of what our technology does, and I'll cover that a little bit more in depth as we go through this. And then on-demand applications provided by XenApp. And XenApp is our application virtualization technology, which I'll be going over as well. So one of the main things that we like to talk about with our desktop virtualization and application virtualization products is that we're an open architecture. We don't lock you into any server virtualization technology, although our products do come with server virtualization technology included in the product. But if you are a VMware shop, we fully support VMware, we fully support Hyper-V, and of course we fully support and would hope that you would take a look at Zen Server as your server virtualization and hosting platform for these technologies. But it's an open architecture, and we fully support it. It's been tried and tested on all of the different server virtualization technologies, and we fully support that. So Zen Desktop, we've kind of taken a different approach at providing virtual desktops. And our largest deployment to date, I believe, is 28,000 virtual desktops from one centralized data center. We like to think of it as separating the components of a normal computer into each individual piece. And by doing that, we enable you to manage those individual pieces at a much more granular level. And the administration becomes so much easier because you separate those components out. And in a normal desktop computer, you start at the bottom with the client hardware. So you have a regular PC. And you have the desktop operating system that's installed on that PC. And then you install your applications on top of that. Your users have all of their data, and then they have all of their preferences and profiles and the pictures of the grandchildren and the screensavers and the things that make a PC personal. So by providing a desktop from Citrix, we take all of those components and we separate them out into individual pieces, and we make the administration much more easy. It's part of the simple is better philosophy. So the administrator builds these pieces out on storage on the right-hand side of your screen, and by leveraging the technology built into server and desktop virtualization, we assemble all of these components on demand and deliver it into a virtual desktop. So that all of the user preferences are saved in a certain location, their data is saved in a certain location, their applications are separated from that desktop by virtualizing those applications, and they get a brand new fresh operating system every time that they log in. So there's no operating system bloat, with cookies and temp files and things like that. Every time you log in, it's a complete brand new operating system. And this is where I'll start talking about our FlexCast technology. And you can see the theme that we live and die by at Citrix continues with any user on any device to access any desktop or any application. So what we call FlexCast is one technology for a complete delivery suite of desktops and applications from one group of virtualized resources. So instead of thinking of it as a product name, just think of it as our technology to deliver desktops and applications to your users. So the first model that we have is delivering desktops or applications from a terminal services-based solution that we call XenApp that installs on top of it, and it's a hosted shared platform. So all of your users will share the resources of one server. So all of the memory, all of the processing power, it's all shared amongst different users. The second is more secure and more, not necessarily more secure, but more personal. It's hosted virtual desktops. We provide connection services to a virtual desktop via our application and desktop virtualization products so that each user gets their own personalized environment and their own complete operating system that's assigned to that user. So it's not a hosted shared resource model like terminal services. It's a actual dedicated full-blown operating system for each user. And then we have the ability to actually stream a full-blown operating system down to an end-user device. And that's called our provisioning services technology, all built into the same suite of products. You actually stream an operating system down to a user's local device, to their local PC. So that's the perfect way to repurpose PCs in your environment and use those and further the life of those devices. So as of today, what we've found from most corporations is that 50 to 55% of all of their devices, their end-user computing devices, are laptops. By the end of 2014, it's estimated by Gartner that 72% of all corporate computing devices will be laptops. So what we've done for that is we've added another piece of technology to our suite of products, and it's the ability to secure laptops and mobile devices by providing a local, centrally managed virtual machine onto that endpoint device and be able to administer that virtual machine back in your environment and synchronize that virtual machine back to a centralized synchronization service in your data center. So when the user logs in with that laptop, no matter where they are, if there are changes that your administrators would like to pass down to those users when they log in, they'll actually have the options to synchronize and get the latest applications or get new data, new databases, access, spreadsheets, things like that, back to that. What that technology is called is XenClient. This was announced this year. So it's infinitely mobile and secure computing solutions, and it is a true Type 1 hypervisor that's just like our server virtualization technology, but it's now built onto a laptop. But they run on a virtual machine that's based on that client. You can use it online or offline. You don't have to actually be logged into your network. Your users can take it with them. So it's extremely flexible.